Okay, but before we continue, I have more important messages for you. So, if you're interested in being on attract mode, if you want to show off your Animal Crossing town, or compose some music, or play a video game super fast, or play a video game super slow and do some kind of showcase, if you want to paint, if you want to draw, basically anything game related, you can submit your showcase to attract mode and we would be thrilled to show it off. So if you're interested in doing that, then please visit ladyarcaders.com for more details, or you can talk to one of us in chat and we'll be happy to get you set up with an invitation to the public. And if you're a feminine identifying person, also an invite to the private Discord. We would love to feature more amazing performers on attract mode. All right, so you might be wondering what our next showcase is, and I will be happy to tell you. It is in fact The Lion King, Simba's Mighty Adventure, any percent with DreamTora, who is a wonderful friend of the Lady Arcaders, and we always enjoy seeing her runs. This is a PlayStation 1 game, so we're going to be throwing it back to the age of beautiful, blocky, polygonal graphics, when one texture was enough for one polygon. And those are beautiful days. By the way, if anyone remembers Aiden Chronicles, that game had like one face texture. It literally looked like they just like painted the face and just bit crushed it onto a polygon. It was incredible. I don't think this game has anything quite that wild, but that is definitely going to be the aesthetic, and I am super excited. So we're going to continue the intermission for just a little bit longer, and then we'll be getting started with our next game. Hold tight, everyone. We can't wait to continue having so much fun with you. All right, everyone, we are back and we are ready to continue with our next showcase. But before we start, I just want to remind you that if you would like to keep up with our Lady Arcaders events, then you can join the public Discord. You can type !Discord in chat for a link. I also want to remind you, all funds raised through bits, subscriptions, and Ko-Fi are put towards running events, tech, hosting for Lady Arcaders, and raising money for Pakal's eye surgery fund, because Pakal has really bad old eyes, and she needs help. So please just donate everything that you can to help Pakal. We appreciate your support. All right, everyone, we are ready to continue with our showcase for The Lion King, Simba's... Mighty Adventure. Yeah, that's the one. Simba's Mighty Adventure. That is the game which we will be playing today. DreamTora is going to show off the any percent run for us, and we are stoked for it. Lion King is one of my favorite Disney movies and has a killer soundtrack. So I just have all the good vibes going into this game, and I hope you do too. All right, Tora, we're ready for you.
Hello, everyone. And it's me again, but this time I am bringing you something a little bit different. Well, a lot bit different. This is Simba's Mighty Adventure. One of the sort of like random like Disney interactive games that came out for PS1. This one is definitely one of the lesser known ones, I think, because I honestly didn't know about it until like probably more recent years, and I had just started playing this like this year, and that's when I decided, hey, this seems like a really fun game. I would love to speedrun it, and it's actually a really fun game to go through really fast. So without further ado, I am just going to get to the screen where I start. Now, a quick note, this game takes place during both the first Lion King movie and the second Lion King movie. So we're going to be doing levels from the first movie, and then we're going to segue over to the ones from the second movie. But yeah, like time starts when I press A on or X on this level select. So I will be beginning in 3, 2, 1, go. And of course I forgot to start the timer, but... So, there are 3 basic mechanics in this game, and that is, of course, to move forward with the analog stick. There is the roll mechanic, which we will be using quite a bit,
Simba.
just
Mufasa
to
is waiting for you
like
atop
get through
Pride Rock.
certain enemies that'll be on our way. I forgot to turn the analog on. And there is also the roar button, which we would not be using the roar mechanic because the roar mechanic is the slowest. So you'll only be seeing the rolling mechanic. The pounce mechanic you'll be seeing a lot during the boss battles, which there are 2 boss battles in this game overall. So this first level is pretty straightforward. We're going to be making our way to Pride Rock to meet up with Simba's father, Mufasa, as per the movie. And I am going to be doing the roll mechanic to try and get past some of these characters,
You must learn to roll.
so that I could get a head start once they finish talking.
Scare your enemies.
Unfortunately,
One day
you cannot
too
skip
will
the
be a great
dialogue,
king, Simba.
Thanks, Dad.
so you kind of just have to sit there until they're done. Mufasa is the only one I haven't figured out how to roll past him, but you can roll past
Excellent.
like all the characters, including Scar
To be a
and
true
Nala.
little Simba, you must learn to defeat enemies. Press the roll button to
Scar
attack
here is going to be
your enemies.
introducing us to
Thanks,
the roll
Uncle Scar.
mechanic,
Now I
which
can
is what
fight
I
all by
explained
myself.
earlier. And you see there, I rolled there just so I could get rid of that bug. There is a health meter that in this game, but
You can attack
it only
enemies
appears
by
when you
pouncing
regain
them.
health,
Use
and
your
also when
pounce
you
attack.
get hit.
Press the jump button, then press the roll button. Once you are
And see,
in
there
the air.
we learn the pounce
Thanks, Uncle
mechanic,
Scar.
which, as
That
I mentioned
pounce is
before, we
cool.
will only be using in 2 instances in this game. Now this is kind of a weird spot
Jump up
right
to a
there,
cliff and hit
because
from the
the
edge.
trigger
You can
for
pull yourself
Nala's
up
dialogue
by
there
pressing
is
the jump
somehow
button.
like a bit in
Thanks,
front of
Nala.
her,
That'll come
so you
in
kind of have to like roll past that trigger. Otherwise you'll get locked into place
Excellent.
until she's finished talking. And so that is the end of this level. Let's see if I can do the swag roll here. Got it. So you can actually roll
One day
right
you
before
too
the
will be
trigger
a
for
great
this
king, Simba.
this dialogue here. And you can kind of like make yourself go to the tip of Pride Rock there. My favorite part of The Lion King was Simba pressed the square. Oh yeah, so another note, since someone was talking about voice actors. Mufasa is voiced by James Earl Jones in this. There are quite a few voice actors that did not return for this game. James Earl Jones being the exception. I want to say, like, Suzanne Plachette did reprise her role as Zira for this game, but it honestly does not sound much like her when you hear her later on.
Those hyenas, Your Majesty.
But I'll take their word for it.
Excellent.
But everyone else is voiced by just a random voice actor. So we're going through the graveyard, as you can see, the elephant graveyard.
Excellent.
At your service, Your Majesty.
There are a lot of hazards in this level, but like, fortunately, it's not too hard or too easy to die here if you're careful enough. Just, you gotta make sure you platform properly and
Checkpoint splendid.
avoid getting hit as much as possible. Like, those hyenas like to throw bones, you can actually kind of roll out of the way of that. And I'm gonna be taking certain paths through here to, like, save time, because sometimes the bone paths can be a little slow. But this one you absolutely have to cross, because there's no way around it. And instead of doing the platforming here, you just take this little spot here. So that way you could start pouncing on these hyenas. Now these hyenas can be a little bit annoying because they like to run around in circles, like out of range of your rolling. This one's being a bit of a... So yeah, that's Elephant Graveyard. Now we're gonna be doing one of our first kind of sort of annoying levels, and that is the Stampede level. And it's pretty much self-explanatory. We're gonna be running through the gorge while trying to avoid the wildebeest. Now, there isn't really a good way for me to swerve around them so that won't stomp on me. But I have figured out during practice that there is a way to roll out of the way of some of the rocks that tumble down. Oops, forgot to roll there. So yeah, the way these wildebeest run is kind of on a set path. At least I think it is. So I will be rolling there to avoid that rock. And at that rock. Because you can take a lot of damage from those rocks. Certain things, whether they be animals or objects like the rocks, will do a set amount of damage. Rocks do the most amount of damage, as far as I know. Though rhinos, which we'll be finding out later on in the other set of levels, do quite a bit of damage as well.
Run, Simba! Run!
So I will just be running through the gorge, trying to avoid getting hit as much as possible, and avoid getting stomped on by the wildebeest. Which, this has been a really good, So, Simba.
Excellent.
So Simba can be a bit of a, like, what did I call him last night? Like, he could be a bit of a derp at times and like to get stuck on rocks, which you'll be seeing later on in another level that's similar to that one. Because he will be getting stuck on rocks, and it's really hard for you to get him to, like, actually jump over them.
Help me!
And so now this is the first level we'll be playing as adult Simba. There really isn't any difference between adult Simba and cub Simba as far as movement, because you'll still have the same run mechanic, the roll mechanic, and the pounce mechanic. The roar mechanic probably is different, but once again, we'll not be using that for this run. Now that platforming there could be a little bit tricky. During my first playthrough of this game, I have fallen there quite a bit. But like once you know like the set pattern of how to get across there, it's actually not too bad. I'm jumping across the cliff there because it's faster than going on the bottom path. Because the bottom path has a huge like gap to it. I failed there, but I was trying to roll to avoid those rocks. Because once again, if you roll at the right time, you could avoid the rocks that are tumbling down. And you see these little plants here that you can bounce off of.
I'm
And we rescue Timon and Pumbaa from Nala. And then we find out, yada yada, that Scar is ruining the Pride Land, so we have to head back there. Now this is the absolute, like, one of the absolute worst levels, because there are so many enemies, and some of them are birds. Now, the birds you could bounce off of just by jumping on them, and sometimes they're in a really bad spot, and so expect me to fall at least a couple times here and also die because there's just so much going on here. But I will be doing my best to just roll through right there to try and get whatever enemies that might be in my path. Also, those tree branches are kind of a weird shape, but we won't talk about that. Oh yeah, I forgot to explain that those pieces of meat that you'll see every so often are to replenish your health. So those are good to see, especially when you're really low on health.
Checkpoint.
Now this is the first really scary section here because of the rocks and also because of the birds. You actually jump or bounce off the rocks as well, so
Checkpoint.
double rock jump there, which is good to see. I'm gonna be a little bit careful here because there's a bird that likes to spawn there. Yep. That's why I took that section slow.
Excellent.
I took that one a little slow as well because that bird has ruined a lot of runs by, like, making me fall at the most inopportune time. Simba. So, this is going to be the first of two bosses, Scar. Scar is interesting in that there is a way you could quick cycle him. Basically, if he is up on the cliff, you could actually do the pounce on the cliff and somehow get on top of him, so you could do multiple pounces at once. It's a really tricky thing to get, and I've only gotten it like a few times during my time running this game. Simba, if you not get stuck there.
Young fool.
So he is really low on health. I just need to try and get him while he's on the cliff.
Mufasa was so easily beaten. Like father, like son.
My father was a great king.
You tell him, Simba. So I'm just gonna be doing my best to try and get him while he is on the cliff. Okay, that works too. And so that's Scar. And that's the end for the first Lion King levels. We will be starting the Lion King 2 set of levels, which these levels are, like, they're a little bit harder, I would say, platforming-wise. But, otherwise they're about the same as the first set of levels.
Wow.
I do
you're in
think they are a little bit
Where's
more
the
annoying,
fire?
though.
Oh, yeah.
Especially this one right here. There's, like, so many things that want to get in your way. Like these porcupines. And those logs.
Checkpoint.
And these random, like, zebras and gazelles that,
Excellent.
or antelopes that like to get in your path. Here's the rhino. Now, I could try and go back and get that health there, but unfortunately, the rhino does a ton of damage if it hits you, and it has killed me one too many times while I try to get health there, so I just don't bother if I miss it. So this level is basically a lot of platforming. Yeah, I knew I was gonna die there. So that's fine. Sometimes I could lose a lot of health and just die in this level. There's gonna be a lot of deaths in these next set of levels just because I get into really unfortunate situations. But thankfully the checkpoints are very generous so that like you won't have to repeat too much when you die.
Checkpoint.
So yeah, I'm just gonna be like platforming as much as I can through these levels. Now I bounce on the rhino again, and I get that health, so we're good. I have gotten pressed between the rock and the rhino during a run once, and it just, you're just in a really bad way if that happens. So that's the end of that level. Now comes the really annoying level, which is Rhino Chase. Rhino Chase is similar to the Stampede level, except you're going to be maneuvering around rhinos, and rhinos are huge. They have a big hitbox, so it's really hard to avoid them. And as I said earlier, Simba likes to get stuck on rocks, and there are so many rocks in this stage. So you will see Simba get stuck on a lot of rocks. Hopefully I will try to avoid that as much as possible. Also, there are a bunch of these little creatures. I have no idea what they're supposed to be, but they can be a little bit annoying because they like to get in your way. See, the first instance of Simba liking to get stuck on a rock. Those tall rocks, especially. I'm gonna go back and get this meat just for safety. Because I am really low on health and I kinda don't want to die here.
Excellent.
It's again swerving around rocks so I don't get stuck.
Checkpoint.
See, once again, Simba just loves getting stuck on rocks. Also, in case you're wondering what those letters are, that is part of the 100% category. You have to collect all of those letters, and basically collecting all the letters unlocks a movie. Which I believe the movies that you unlock in this game are just probably like scenes from the actual movies. So that was actually a really good rhino chase, all things considered. I've had like really bad rhino chases during my run attempts.
Attack!
Now this level is a little bit annoying. Like, not because of this section right here, but of the second part, where you have to go through the cave. Because there are falling rocks in the second part, and they could do a lot of damage. There was a lioness there. Don't worry about that. Just kind of carefully going through here just to make sure I don't get... Oh, well, that bird hit me, that's fine. There are lionesses in the way in these levels. this one and the last one, at least, have the lionesses in your path. And I kind of know, like, when to expect them, so I could just roll into them, like that. Now here's the annoying section with the falling rocks. I like to damage boost bounce off of that one. Another thing Simba likes to do is he likes to not grab onto ledges really well. That rock didn't fall, that was weird. Oh, that was cool. So, that rock kind of was delayed. I was kind of expecting it to fall, so I was kind of like taking my time there. Whoops, that was on me because I jumped way too early. But thankfully I got a short or a checkpoint, so I could just do this whole section again. Once again, just bounce off the rock here. Just taking it slow there because that rock would kill me. Okay, now I can finish the level. So I was doing really well there. I just jumped way too soon there and kind of cost myself a little bit of time, but that's fine. Now we're going to be coming up on the final level. And this level is actually, like, pretty simple. Just try and get through and also just roll through the enemies that may be in our path. This is, like, probably one of the easiest levels overall. Except these birds like to get in the way, as usual. And there's falling rocks. Maybe it's not the easiest level. I take that back. But it's the one that I am the least likely to die a lot on. I will say that.
Checkpoint.
Excellent.
Just gonna take it slow there, just to make sure that bird doesn't send me flying.
Excellent.
Checkpoint.
Oh, and there's these rolling logs too, which you gotta be careful of. I'm gonna take this slow, otherwise I'd be dead. Alright, now we're gonna be facing off against the final boss of the game. Zira. Now, I would actually look this up last night, and I had the timing off for, like, when the run ends. The run ends when Zira's health disappears, so I will call out time when that happens, but in the meantime, I'm just going to be focusing on trying to get this fight over with. Now, I found a little trick that's actually pretty useful, and that is, if you pounce on Zira as she's jumping up, jumping up onto the cliff, she'll actually clip through the cliff.
You're not a king.
Oh, I missed it there.
It's time, Kiara.
She'll just clip through the cliff, and you could just keep bouncing on her like that.
No!
But since I missed that, I'm going to have to try and just get her while she's on the cliff.
It's time Kiara sees you as the pitiful fool you are.
Zira, no!
damage on her while she's on the cliff because she's so far back.
You're not a king.
But you think it would be easier because, like, the cliff for her is much lower than Scar, but you know. Okay, that works too. So that's what I was talking about. If you somehow interrupt her jump, she'll just clip through the... Okay, it's time. That happened so quick, I forgot about it. But yeah, that's time. And you get a nice little cutscene here at the end, which is basically the ending of Lion King 2, but we'll be skipping that. And the credits. Well, I could have just left the credits rolling, but... But yeah, that's Lion King Simba's Mighty Adventure. Actually a really fun game. I highly recommend if you're looking for like a PS1 game to play. Definitely check this one out, and definitely if you're interested in speedrunning this game, you could I guess check out the speedrun leaderboard and the guides and whatnot. I could also help you if I happen to be around. But yeah, that'll be it from me.
Now, Tora, inquiring minds want to know, where can we find you if we would like to watch more exciting Lion King adventures?
You can find me at twitch.tv/DreamTora. I do speedruns of this game. I do speedruns of Hem Terror, Hem Heartbreak. I also do Sonic speedruns. I also do Crystal's Ponytail, which, speaking of Crystal's Ponytail, I will be doing that later tonight on Angie Yuna's marathon that's going on right now. Which my run will be at let's see, 9:30 Eastern Time, I want to say, is when my run will be. So be sure to check that one out. It's gonna be a really fun run. But yeah, like, thank you all so much for watching. I have really enjoyed showing this game off, and I look forward to showing off a lot more games in the near future.
Wonderful. Well, we are looking forward to having you showcase a lot more games, because this was super fun today. So thank you again, Tora.
Yeah, no problem.
Alright, well, that is the end of Attract Mode today. And we have had 2 fantastic runs, and I hope that everyone here enjoyed it. I do have one closing message that I want to share with you. Just want to remind you, again, if you'd like to join the Discord, then please type !Discord in chat for a link, and we'll be happy to get that to you. And yeah, we would love to see you next time. Our next Attract Mode is going to be on Thursday. We are going to go to brief intermission real quick, and then we hope that you will stick around with us for the raid. So don't go away, we'll be right back. Alright everyone, thank you for hanging out for a little bit. Just one last reminder before we go. Our next Attract Mode is going to be Thursday, November 10th, and it's going to be Scala Kitty doing Haven Any % Solo, Good Ending, Casual. This will be one of the longest Attract Modes that we have ever done. It's going to be around 4 hours, so that is going to be one where you want to get cozy, cuddle up with a stuffed animal or a loved one, and just chill and have a great time watching. And it will be my privilege to not only host for that, but to commentate for it as well. Scala's asked me to go in without any knowledge of the game whatsoever. All I've seen is some cute cutscenes, and that's pretty much the extent of my knowledge. So it's going to be an exciting experience for me to learn more about what this amazing game is, and we hope that you'll join us for it. Alright everyone, we're going to sign off now, and we are going to raid Angie Yuna, so we hope that you'll stick around and raid with us so that we can support an amazing friend of the Lady Arcaders. Thanks for joining everyone, and have a wonderful day.